Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your 2017 Astro-Tarot forecast. My name is Charlotte from chastrology.com, and today we'll be talking about the astrological influences of 2017. And we'll be incorporating a spiritual reading with the cards into those astrological influences and kind of creating a bit of a storyboard. Now, I've switched the card set that I had previously. I switched it with Cancer, and yours was last. So I want to move forward with a new energy that I think might work better for you, Gemini. So the first thing I want to talk about is how the year started. Mercury, which is your ruling planet, was retrograde in Capricorn, which highlighted your 8th house. And this was about endings, intimacy, trying to really find a way to make a commitment. And I think some of you were redefining or rethinking about how you wanted to make a commitment within your relationships. Some of you were getting to know people on a more intimate level. And as January of 2017 began, there was a bit of a stalemate there where you were concerned about your own financial security. You were thinking about how are you going to be able to make money. You were thinking about your income debt ratio. You were trying to find solutions. And there didn't seem to be a solution. Some of you were concerned about resources such as insurance. Then January 27th rolled around, which was a new moon in Aquarius. And this highlighted your 9th house of legalities, travel, internet, publishing, vehicles, transportation, all of the subjects that have to do with higher knowledge. And so some of you were able to really open a doorway up on your communication axis that really expounded by February 10th or 11th when a lunar eclipse took place in Leo, 22 degrees of Leo, in your 3rd house. And this brought a culmination to a matter related to communication, related to contracts, related to maybe you putting yourself out there, sending out lots of communication, maybe to gather resources for your own financial security. And then on February the 26th, a solar eclipse took place at 8 degrees of Pisces in your 10th house of career. And this redefined who you were as a person. Are you Mr. or Mrs.? Are you married or not? What career field are you trying to make headway in? This is a brand new beginning that lasts for 6 months. So maybe this is an announcement of sorts. This eclipse was largely conjunct Neptune, which is a planet of illusions. It's a planet of lies and deception. And Mars conjunct Uranus was taking place in the background. Now, Mars conjunct Uranus is not associated with the eclipse, but it is included in the eclipse chart. And basically, it means this new energy came forward because something happened. And so Mars conjunct Uranus was taking place in your 11th house of groups and friends. So there was some sort of maybe February into early March, a social event that you were attending or a group of people that you were working with. And all of a sudden, there was this need for you to make progress in your 10th house of public standing. This could be maybe you're announcing a new job. Maybe you have found a group of people that you can actually work with or work for. This is about developing your hopes and dreams, and I think a lot of you are thinking about financial security that really push you towards this career progression. A lot of people think this is about a job, the 10th house, but this could also be about redefining your reputation. Maybe you don't want to be known as a maid anymore. Maybe you are letting people know that you have now completed an academic program and you're now a nurse. It's something of that stature that is beginning around February the 26th, but it really sort of picks up around March the 3rd when Mercury crosses the eclipse degree that lets people know, hey, all of a sudden this communication is starting up about my career, about my public standing, about my title, and allows people to view in a different light. Unfortunately, around that time, Venus is turning retrograde. And the Venus retrograde is Venus is turning retrograde, meaning it appears to be moving backwards in the sky. It's really not moving backwards, but from our position on Earth, it looks like it's moving backwards. And what it really is a reflection of our consciousness. And when Venus is retrograde, none of us are really feeling the love in some area. There's a lack of love there. There are miscommunications in our relationships, or there are things with our parents and partners that we needed to go back and review on and try to come up with a better solution for. And Venus is retrograding on March the 4th through April the 15th. But this energy is really going to last all the way until May, even until June. So you're probably going to have disruptions in your relationships. For you, Venus rules your 12th house of secrets as well as your 5th house of romance. So if you have a secret romance that's coming to light, maybe everyone is really in the public eye is really becoming aware of it. It may not come out in the best light. For some of you, this could have to do with your children. Maybe your children, one of your children has been sick and you really maybe have to put a public call out for prayer. For some of you, this could be a creative project that you've been working on behind the scenes and now you're ready to announce it to the world. For some of you, maybe you're beginning to work with groups of people with children, or there's someone involved in that group that you're really romantically inclined to. But for some reason, this upset or this Venus retrograde with other people is not allowing people to see you as who you really are or what your intentions are. And so there may be a disruption there in your relationships, in your closest relationships, between, I would say, from the end of February through June. But it will work itself out, I think, later this summer, but not without repercussion, because we have some eclipses coming up. So I'm going to pause there a minute before I go on with the astrological events, and let's take a look at the cards. So let me see what I see in the cards that sort of reflects this energy, or maybe it's new information that's coming in. So I have the King of Wands here. This could be an older male. He could be a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Or this could be maybe you and you're searching for a new career. Most of the time, this is an older gentleman. Especially if you're a female, this could be someone that you're in a relationship with, and they have an offer of love here. So this is either you being aggressive with your career, and you're also wanting to announce who you are and who you are at the moment, as well as your future plans. And this could be with a relationship. The Sword of Truth is here, the Ace of Swords, and so this is sort of a surprising factor. The Ace of Swords often reminds me of the energy of Aquarius, who moves very sharp and very abruptly when they are ready to strike. But this ace is different than any ace in the deck, and it's cutting through to the truth, and it basically says, how do you like me now? So this is that energy coming through, but I don't think this energy comes forward in the way that you want. I think you are looking for financial security within a relationship. You're looking for emotional security, but you're feeling like you don't really know what other direction to take. So it's almost like, I don't really know which direction to take, but I'm going to fake it until I make it here. That's the energy that I'm getting here. So if you do have a new offer of love, I think this relationship is one that has been around for a while, and you're feeling like you're ready to move in the next direction with it. But the thing here that gets me is that swords and cups don't really go together. Air and water are two very different emotional presentations. The swords is about mental acuity. It's about mind games. And it's about mental grief and anguish. We have mental grief and anguish here. And it's like you're holding on, or you're beginning this new adventure with finding security and planting seeds. But there's grief here because there are things going on that you really don't even know. I don't even know if you're sure of yourself here. So we'll try to figure out what that is right quick. Again, this first half is the first half of the year from January until June. So let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, the Chariot is here. This is definitely career accolades. This is about, making a public appearance. For some of you may be getting married. Some of you, this is a career endeavor where you feel like you have really made some progress. You're getting an award. You're letting people know that you are successful in some way. This is kind of like a bride who's holding her flowers and she's offering it to someone else, maybe to an older person. And she's kind of like, oh, I don't want to forget about you. I want to let you who have supported me, I want to share in this with you. But she's also writing in, I mean, here's on the Chariot, she's coming in very quickly with this information. So I think this is a matter of truth pertaining to your relationship. But it's also, some of you may be attending events with a relationship, or someone is showing themselves off in some way publicly. I'm going to pull this card out and figure out why this mental anguish is here. Okay, so the Empress is here. This represents mothers. This represents someone who's pregnant with expectations. You're expecting, maybe you were expecting something different with this new career field or with this new relationship, and it's just not turning out the way that you had hoped it would. There are a lot of good cards here. Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Chariot. I mean, I think that those things are Six of Wands. These things that you have worked hard for are coming together. It seems like there's something wrong with the delivery process. And the Knight of Wands is here. So this is about being ready to face the challenge. It's like you feel like this fiery need to express your opinion, maybe, about a matter related to a pregnancy or a mother figure here. There's a lot of things that you can't see here, or someone feels like they couldn't see something here. So I'm going to use a couple of clarifiers for this energy in the first part of the year. And I realize I'm doing all these readings a little bit different, but I'm just going in the way that Spirit leads me. So the first part of the year, we have leadership. So some of you, this is definitely career. You're definitely making these career decisions and you're letting people know. Or it is that maybe the career field that you're going into, there's something that you don't know that you're having a little bit of anxiety about. Maybe some of you are having to leave your children to go into this career field, but I think you're ready to go. It's just that you are feeling some sort of grief about parenting, or feeling like you have to let go of a child in some way. This is the lion is in this card here, which is about being brave. And the woman is carrying a torch and she's lighting the way, and she's very brave and going after her goals. And so here we have the competition card, and it is reversed. So maybe some of you are battling someone for a job. Maybe some of you are battling someone for this public announcement that you have to make. There's a sense of competition here where there's a lot of mental mind games at play. And this is all surrounding a relationship, which is very strange. So I would say if you do have something to announce and you feel like you have accomplished something, you want to do the loyal thing. You want to be loyal. Lion is the sign of Leo. It has a little Leo necklace on, and Leos are courageous, but they are also very loyal. They are loyal to the people that love them. And that she's holding a torch and she's saying this has to light your way into this announcement. If someone has, helped you up the ladder of success a little bit, then you need to be devoted to that person. You don't want to create a sense of competition out of something that's meant to be very happy. That's something that's meant to be a new excitement. But this card is just not for you for this situation. There's a little blue bird that's above this card. And I always think of my grandfather when I think of bluebirds, and I think about, it just reminded me of that sense of loyalty. He was very loyal to his family, very compassionate. Bluebirds are sometimes a messenger of spirit, and it's saying even though you feel trapped in the situation, the power of the voice is the thing that you're missing here. You're acting like you're the victim here, but you're not. You're not the victim in this situation. And this is about using the power of the voice to open up all of these keys of loyalty and understanding and dissolving this sense of competition here. So if something has happened in your career and you're really trying to move forward, or you have this public announcement, or you have this new career field and people are coming against you, especially with the Venus retrograde in the 11th house and There just seems to be friends who are maybe jealous of you at any given moment. It's saying you're not the victim here. There's something that you have done to perpetuate the situation. And so in order to resolve this issue, maybe you could move in fearlessly and, you know, cut through everything with a sense of, yeah, I've worked hard to achieve this. I don't want to turn away from people who have supported me in some way. I don't want to, you know, turn my back on people. I want to share in this with you. I want to be a team player. I want to show you my skill set and what I have to offer, because I really need emotional and financial security. But I want people to be proud of me. I don't want people to think that I have a sense of entitlement or disrespect in some way. And it's saying that as you do this, set out with your goals, because you want to, over the next half of the year, really move forward with this very public decision, or this very career-oriented field that you are embarking on here. So like I said, the Venus retrograde will actually end on April the 15th. You may be able to straighten out some issues with people around that time, but I don't really think, I think that there is a residue because of that eclipse in Pisces that happened at the end of February and really started up in March with Neptune conjunct that. There was just this shocking factor with Mars conjunct Uranus in the background, and then there's all this really foggy influence. And that eclipse really took a snapshot of all of this energy at one time, and it leads it on for 6 months. So for some of you, I'm sorry, you are going to be working out this energy over half of the year here, it looks like. So I'm going to talk about the middle of the year now. Oh, one more thing there. Mercury, your ruling planet, does retrograde there with your 12th house of secrets. So it's like, you know what, Gemini? Some of you have told some lies here about how all of this went down. I don't know whether you've told lies on your application for this new career field. I don't know if you've told lies about legal contracts that have been involved here. But this is saying the Mercury retrograde is going to start up April the 9th through May the 3rd. And it's going to push that energy forward. And you're going to have another secret coming out. So, Gemini. Let me tell you. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. That's all I can say. You've got to get a hold of, I know you Geminis like to tell some stories. You want to be the authority on a subject. You're highly entertaining. I say there's no better storyteller than a Gemini. You guys are a lot of fun. I give you props for trying to, you know, take care of your friends. You're trying to, you know, you're the social butterfly. You really like to be around cool people. You don't like heavy energies related to family and sometimes even authority figures in work. But there's another situation that's coming out here, and there's another truth that's coming out here. Now, I do want to say that some of you, if you're involved in working in a medical facility, I don't really see that here unless you're working with a mental health facility or with, you know, maybe you are working with a medical facility. But just in case you are, when that Mercury retrograde hits from April the 9th to May the 3rd, you may have some miscommunications in that area, and you may have to really explain yourself in some way. Some of you are going to really need to go back and examine your health. You're going to need to examine your secrets. You're going to need to examine your mental health. So I'm going to take a look at June now. So I'm going to leave that energy there. That's all going to mesh with that Venus retrograde, and you having to explain yourself to other people and these secrets with these career accolades or career beginnings and new relationships and these sudden shocking revelations that are coming out. So I want to have a look at the middle of the year. Nope. And this person wants to come forward. This is the Queen of Wands. She's an aggressive person. And here we have the Emperor. Sometimes this is an authority figure, a father. And the Ten of Pentacles, this talks about history within the family and home security. It can even be genetic dispositions. This can, with these two together, this could actually even be a person that you are akin to astrologically. Maybe you have the same sign. Can be a father figure, the Emperor, and this is a happy home security situation. But there's an aggressive energy here. And this seems to be a new energy coming in. Now, sometimes this can be related to an aggressive force or aggressive person that you're working with within your career sector who's related to authority figures. And this person, may be of like some sort of high social class, I think. But a lot of this has to do with really making progress with authority figures within your family unit, I think. Who is it that you look to in your family for the most advice? Who is the person who has been sound and stable for you? This can be male or female. This has been the person who maybe raised you, who has some sort of say-so in your direction of life in the early years, and who really gave you the first sense of home and family. And I think that is the person who may be coming forward aggressively by the middle of the year. Or this could be a person that you are in a relationship with at work. Could be someone around you. King of Pentacles is here with Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords is about deciding to leave a situation, deciding to make a break, and you're leaving with all of the baggage of a situation. You may have a couple of people with you. Maybe you're traveling. But it's about taking a break from mental anguish and deciding to move forward. And then King of Pentacles is here. This can be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo male figure here. And he could also be the head of a family. And this is not a person who is unstable. This is a person who is very stable. He can be a father figure. He could be someone that you're running to. You're running towards for the stability and home and family. Once all of these situations do begin to come out. And then this is like the spoiled child syndrome, where you're feeling like entitled. You're feeling entitled to all of these victim mentality issues. And you're also feeling like you have enough. You're not going to need anybody for anything. You don't want to, you feel like you're being provided for emotionally and financially in whatever way, and you don't have to do anything. You're pampered. And by the middle of the year, that is the energy that you're putting forward. For some of you, you've really made progress in a career. You've worked very hard in your career field, and now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. But I feel like there is one person maybe that you're just ready to end things with. This person can be very controlling, ambitious, forming that sense of competition, really a materialistic individual. But I think this person is more adventurous. I don't think their goal is material accolades. I think their goal is that they are wanting to get their point across to you. And you are just feeling like you have enough already and you don't really care what this person has to say. There's a lot of anxiety related to this situation, and things are up in the air. And I think they will continue to be throughout the year. I've said 6 months, but whatever this is, this situation with coming out in the wrong light, or these issues at work or within your career field or within your public sector with friends or people that you work with, it's like you're willing to let go of one person. This could be an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. I hope I said that right earlier. But you feel like this person may be too ambitious, and just maybe you feel like this person is the spoiled child, and you're really wanting to move forward to more secure relationships that are stable. And this could be with friends or family here. But I think this is more of a familial situation. We have the mother here. This is the mental anguish, but then we also have this stable family life and, enjoying the fruits, waiting for the right time, I think. Waiting for the right time for all of the good things to appear, for all of the things you've worked hard for to appear. Now in August, there are going to be 2 more eclipses And these will actually, I think, be beneficial to you. They're definitely going to bring some endings, some emotional endings. And the first one is in Aquarius at 15 degrees. It's a lunar eclipse in your 9th house. So maybe this is about travel. Maybe you're traveling somewhere during that time. And Aquarius is a great sign that works good with Gemini. And so maybe you're really feeling like you've taken you've traveled just before this date. So even though this lunar eclipse happens August 7th, you could have traveled in July to see a certain person. And this is a lunar eclipse, meaning that females and family members and mother figures come to mind. Sometimes people are eclipsed out of your life during that period. So you may experience the loss of someone then. I hope not, Gemini. I don't think so. I don't really have anything in the cards here. This is more about like choices and who you want to spend your time with and who you want to associate with in your family and your friends. And then there's a second eclipse, August the 21st at 29 degrees of Leo in your 3rd house of communication. This is siblings. The 29th degree is about the last straw, the last available solution that you have, the last step that you have in working on something. And with it happening there in the 3rd house of communication, maybe you are starting something new. This will last for 6 months. So this will color the rest of the year from August 21st until the end of the year. And it's just going about you making progress. Maybe some of you are even starting school. You're picking up some new method of learning. You're willing to write. You're willing to go the distance in communication. And so that may be what this is here. We have the 8 of Wands, which is about a lot of communication over the second part of the year. And of finally there being the right time to make progress and feeling at peace with yourself. You want to be at peace with yourself, but you also want to look at what you have, the people that love you, that are near you. Don't turn your back on these people, Gemini. I don't know if you can see this card. I'm over here talking and you can't see this on this camera. But you see the girl, she's at the beach, she's relaxing, but her back is turned to all the fine things that she has that have supported her and loved her. So you want to be happy. It's also a card of happiness, but you want to be happy in the realization that you have these people supporting you. And I think this will be a time, probably from August until December, where you're really able to make headway in the way you communicate with people, maybe with your siblings even. The Fool card is here, and this is about setting out on a new adventure. Now, 9 of Swords is here, and so this is if you have a sibling who is an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, this could be a lot of anxiety with them, and you may be hiding something from them, or you're walking away from them in some way. King of Swords is here also. He's looking for the truth, and he says, I like structure. I don't like being lied to. I want to make progress, but we have to abide by the rules. We have to abide by the law. Page of Swords is here. This is a new search for truth. Sometimes this can be about contracts. Maybe you have a new contract related to education, related to legal issues. And King of Swords here also says, I want to get to the truth about whatever pertain to these legal documents even. The Hermit card is here, and it was beside of the 9 of Cups. And so this is about you taking a break, feeling happy and being alone, I think. The Death card is here. This is a very different energy coming in. So I feel like there is an ending to a matter. And I think that this ending and this divine timing and matters coming to fruition of all of the things that you've been running from, of all of these anxiety situations related to your career field. Maybe you're finally experiencing, the fruit of everything that you have tried to work for in your career, these new beginnings that you have tried to put into place. And the Death card says there is going to be the ending of something. The Devil is with it, and the King of Cups. So traditionally, this King of Cups is usually, sometimes he's a father figure, but he's someone who offers love. He tends to be an older male. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, if you know someone like this in your family, or you have a father figure in your life, just that way there's an ending related to this person. And this may be related to addiction. It could be related to secrets he's been keeping. This could be related to someone in your life who's a father figure who has had an addiction. This could be, I hate to say the loss of someone like that, but definitely there's a change in the way that this person relates the truth, or the truth comes out about this person. And I'll put some clarifiers on this as we go along. And we have the Seven of Wands, and this is about really defending yourself. You're defending yourself against the truth. You're trying to bring the truth out. This person who may be the father figure or someone who's experiencing addiction, if this is you and you've been experiencing addiction, you have prominent water signs in your chart, it's like the truth comes out and you're still defending yourself. I see you're defending yourself all the way through this. Over here, you're the victim, then you're running away, and now you're back over here at the end of the year defending yourself. So if this relates to your career, I think it's going to be a heck of a year. I think you're going to be making progress in what your future goals are and finding resolution for those goals. But there's a need to be honest here, Gemini. Need to be honest. I think you do make some progress this summer with this happy home life situation. So this at the end of the year may be something different where there's this injustice that has been done, or truth has come out about a certain father figure or someone has passed that has had an addiction problem. I'm going to try to get some clarification about that in a minute. But first I want to tell you that in October, Jupiter is going to move into Scorpio, which is your 6th house of work and health. So I think you're going to be very busy from October forward in trying to really get your health in control. Maybe you're starting a new exercise program. Some of you are going to be busy with going back to school with that August eclipse there, and in learning, maybe driving back and forth and doing a lot of communication. And the big news, of course, at the end of the year is that Saturn is leaving Sagittarius and going into Capricorn. And this is going into your 8th house. And I do, with these cards here, I do want to talk about the structure. Saturn has been in your 5th house. So it's been about, becoming serious in relationships, becoming serious in matters related to children. Maybe you've been reviewing your childhood. Some of you may, really finally have decided to commit to someone earlier in the year. That could be what this is about over here. Gemini, the big influence coming in at the end of the year is Saturn moving into Capricorn. Now, Pluto has already been in this area for you since 2008. And this has really made some of you very obsessive and compulsive in your relationships and your sexual fantasies, material things, and sort of reconstructing your finances and sorting this into a pile and moving this into a pile and moving this over here and coming up with new ways to make money. For some of you, this is almost like this devil energy here, where you are unwilling to do the right thing because of all the compulsions that you have and this need for you to feel secure at the expense of everyone else. This is almost like an emotional need that you've had. But Pluto in the 8th is going to make you very aware of the boundaries that you form with other people, of the boundaries that you cross with other people, of the level of self-respect that you have, of the level of respect that you have for other people. And so it has been working. Some of you have experienced changes with death. Some of you have experienced big changes with sexual dysfunction during this time. Some of you, this is just a very sexual influence. For some of you have become very addicted to sexual attention, or you have just been very addicted to that force of jealousy, betrayal, trust, all of the intimate boundaries that you've had in your relationships. It's like you want to push them for some reason, or else you are experiencing other people who are pushing boundaries with you. Now, the difference in this Saturn transit, Saturn usually transits a sign about every 2.5 years, and it's been in Libra all year in your 7th house. Like I said, some of you may have made commitments earlier in the year. But from December forward, this is very different, because while you've been obsessive, compulsive, and experiencing all these things on the deepest level in life, and all these endings and new beginnings and these changes, since 2008. Now Saturn moves in. So if you can think back to 2008, 2009, 2010, those years where all of this obsession with security came in, where the security of your emotions, the security of your heart, the security of your personal needs and wants, whatever it takes to make you feel secure, or the feeling that you're willing to risk everything so that you can stop feeling insecure, or so that you can feel secure. For some of this has made you almost narcissistic in some way, but it's often misunderstood with Pluto there in the 8th, because you're feeling so helpless, or so weak in certain situations that you're willing to do whatever it takes to make that feeling stop. That's why this is a very deep and psychological compartment within the zodiac, because this is where mental illness begins to develop. So you don't want to do that. The good thing is we have Saturn coming into that area, and Saturn is very heavy. It's another heavy influence, and we have not had Saturn and Pluto meeting each other since about 1982, but really not since World War I or World War II during the Great Depression. So these are two outer planets that are going to create a lot of havoc as they become closer to each other. So right now we have Pluto in Capricorn in this deep sector for you, which is, sex, intimacy, death, trust, sharing, finances. And it's been starting up all this turmoil, making all these destructive patterns in your life, or challenging you through your own self-destruction, or challenge you in being close to other people and being able to share in your relationships. And now we have Saturn moving in. And Saturn moves in December, and as it gets closer to Pluto, and it will conjunct Pluto, it will be on top of it in 2020, when all these world changes begin. For you, this is about weeding out all of the things that are making you so obsessed with security, and about redefining what your needs are for security, and doing away with this devil factor here. If you are seeing people online and you don't want to tell anyone about it, and you're obsessed with pornography, or you're obsessed with cheating, if you are obsessed with eating, all of these addictions that are coming up that fall under that Plutonian energy, if there's someone in your life that you haven't been able to let go of, and you keep clinging on to them, maybe a relationship that you keep clinging on to and you've hidden it in some way, that is going to stop. When Saturn comes into Capricorn, it's going to start weeding it out from December forward. And as we get close to 2020, they're going to be on top of one another. They're going to be at the same degree. So the big change is not going to happen right when they hit each other. It's in the climate. It's in the climb of them meeting one another, of Saturn meeting Pluto. So when it gets about right here, about 2019, it's really going to pick up. But from 2018 forward, you are going to feel this disruption. For some of you, you're going to experience big changes in your finances related to divorce, related to the death of another individual. You're going to have your heart ripped open in some way that allows for true healing to begin, so that these addictions can stop. And that's the way it's going to go, Gemini. It's going to be hard for everybody, not just you. You're not the victim here. This is going to be happening worldwide. There are going to be structures in our government that are changing as these planets, as Saturn approaches Pluto. And if you work for a government facility, those are going to be changes in your finances there that are going to take place. So there will just be a restructuring of your psyche in some way, and it will be through a very profound change. So make sure that you aren't telling lies, Gemini. Make sure that you keep people close to you, keep your family close to you. Don't have the spoiled child syndrome at work. Don't make everything a competition, or that doesn't need to be. This is time for you to let go of things that are no longer serving you and serving the truth of who you are. There's a huge need in all of this reading. There is a need for truth, and the truth will set you free, right? So I'm going to do some clarifiers first, starting with the beginning of the year. I did a couple of clarifiers here, but I want to do a couple of other ones. And it says, love is patient and kind, always. So be kind to people, Gemini. Make sure that you aren't stirring up that spirit of competition with other people. You want to do everything with a loving heart. And I think even though there have been some quick disruptions, you just need to explain yourself. And this is vigilance. This means, you know, staying kind no matter what. Being a foundation, but growing up to become a firm foundation. This is what you're learning about in the first part of the year. So even if you have people around you who are disruptive to you, who are jealous of you, if there are conflicts you're involved in, if you're feeling like a victim, if your mother is upset, if you are trying to move forward with something but you're unable to articulate what the situation is, and then you're feeling like you don't need anyone, like forget everybody, I'm going to go off on my own here as the fool. This is saying that has to stop. There's a need for truth here. And I think some of you are going to be going back to school in the second part of the year. So let's look at that. And so the nurturing card with the mother is turned upside down. And there's stillness. This is a pause. This is a pause. And there was a father figure underneath that. This may be you or your parents taking a break out. Some of you may be taking vacation with your parents. Some of you may just be pulling out of those types of parental relationships, or that your parent could be pulling out of that relationship. If you've been telling a lot of lies or you haven't been honest with people, this could be people feeling like they need to take a step back from you. If they've been supporting you, where was that card at? Over here. If they've been supporting you all along and you haven't been recognizing them for their support, and you have these dreams of happy family life, but you're just still running from the truth of your emotions, the truth of what you need, the truth of your lack of security, the truth of you being scared. You're being scared of something, and not wanting to do the work, but wanting to reap the rewards is what I'm getting here. You got to be patient. You have to be patient and have time for these things to develop with people. You have to be respectful, patient, and kind. And this is the instinct card. This is about knowing what to do. Wolf is here. And this is about, protecting what you have, protecting your family, goals and dreams here by instinct. And if you have to walk away from some people, walk away from them. But it's saying don't do so with blinders on. Make your truth known. But allow people to love you. Allow yourself to love other people and be respectful in doing so. And at the end of the year here, this is an opportunity card. This is reversed. And I use reversals in all cards because I find that the Oracle cards will make small meanings. It won't be as strong as like with the tarot cards. But it says opportunity knocks, go for it. So I think there's a pause. I don't think that there is a major opportunity for some of you for your career. If you don't get it in the first part of the year, instead you're making an announcement about your life status or something, or a truth, you may not get the opportunity for your career until later in the year. Or some of you are beginning a career in the first part of the year and you're having to really work for it. Some of you may have to leave this opportunity. If you get this career opportunity in the first part of the year, you may have to leave this opportunity in the middle of the year. All of the conflict may begin too much. And that's true. If you start something in a Venus retrograde, it is always wrought with conflict and difficulty. And with the Venus retrograde happening in your 11th house of groups and friends and people you're involved with, this is about a lot of people not seeing you in the right light. And it seems like you're wanting to use your instincts and move forward to this more peaceful type of situation that involves family. But Nine of Swords is here. And this talks about moving forward for positive change. And that one was reversed too. Face your fears. So I think, that Pluto in the 8th house, a lot of you are so fearful. And it's almost like you're trying to fake it until you make it. Oh, I can handle this. I can be a single parent. I can be alone. And then some of you are getting scared and you're joining into relationships that with the victim mentality, like you need that relationship for security. Some of you are just unwilling to tell the truth in certain situations. You're running from the truth. And this is saying face your fears and letting people know who you are. If you're hiding your sexuality in some way, it's probably time to come out. If you are hiding the truth about a relationship, it's time to come out. If you are hiding from yourself, if you're not even being honest with yourself about who you really are and you're too busy judging other people, you need to face that, because once that Saturn starts there in that 8th house, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to need people to support you. All of this sense of entitlement and, you know, you've got to think everybody loves you and all this is going to work out for your best interest. I'm telling you, there are things coming in the next 2 years that are really going to tear you apart emotionally if you're not prepared, and especially in being honest with yourself. So, finality for the year, Gemini. I'll lay out 3 cards for the underlying energy for the year, just so we can be sure with what we're doing. And we have the 7 of Swords. This is someone who lies, is stolen. High Priestess is here, and she's an intuition. The Moon, his deception also, and the Mother. And then the Strength card is here. So, I think this year is going to be a year of reckoning, Gemini. It seems like you're just so covered up with all of these emotions and the truth of a certain situation, and it just is going to work its way all through the year because you're just unwilling to tell the truth in the first part of the year or the second part of the year, or the truth is not going to come out yet. If you're on the opposite end of this situation, definitely in all these things that I mentioned for you, there could be untruths hidden from you, and you are finding out the truth about certain matters and needing to rediscover your emotions and your own fears and weaknesses in order to move on. And if you have been sneaking around with someone, this could come out. If you've had an addiction, this could definitely come out. If you have insecurities in a relationship, it's going to come out. So I'll pull 1 love card for your relationships here. Okay. What is the relationships? It says look to your inner strength, and it's right beside of the Strength card, and it says you are stronger than you realize. For some of you, you don't need a relationship. You're looking for security in a relationship, and this talks about being able to be on your own and still be okay, and facing your fears and letting go of things that are no longer good for you. And instead of hiding behind food and addictions and all these other things and money, get to the point where you're ready to face fear in your relationship, because that is the crux of the situation here. And if you're here today with me, Gemini, and you're listening to this, this is a message for you. Not all Geminis are going to realize this. They're going to go through 2.5 years of, challenges, major challenges, where all of these emotions begin to come out, and it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty painful. If you can look to yourself now in 2017 and be vulnerable enough to let people know who have loved and supported you, I'm having these mental health problems, or I am submerged in my own emotions and fear and lack of security, and I don't know where to turn to because there just doesn't seem to be a viable solution. That is what's going to help you. That's going to set you free, and it's going to allow other people to come in and help you. And I think there are people who are willing to help you. Yeah, there's a wake-up call coming here. This is a tsunami card, a tsunami of emotions coming to wake you up from this place that you feel stuck in. And what could be of help to Gemini this year? Let me just ask that right quick. What could be of help to you? Who is the person that you can call on? Let's see. It's a guardian angel. And I get this card sometimes when I feel like there's no one to turn to, and this talks about the angels coming in. So this is about finding spiritual insight. And maybe people associated with schools. This could be a spiritual learning experience, and I think it is. This is about turning to God, really. This is about turning to God and saying, I don't have anywhere else to go. There's nowhere else I want to go. I need help in dealing with these very deep, deep subjects and of all the havoc and chaos that has been created around me or that I have created in my own life, and especially within 2017. But I think if you face your fears, Gemini, you're going to be able to move forward fearlessly. And by 2018, you're going to find some insight on how to work through these challenges, especially with being able to find people to lean on and find people who are trustworthy and being trustworthy yourself. So I wish you the best in 2017, Gemini. Please have a look at my website, chastrology.com. There's a list of astrological readings on there as well as tarot readings, and that are very similar to this, where I use your natal chart and really begin to discern energies with the cards according to certain dates and influences coming in. And please like and subscribe and share this video. It really keeps me motivated to be able to do this type of thing because it takes a long time. And if I am working with you, I want you to know it is a little different in that I spend a lot of time extracting very personal information for you to be able to give you a sense of direction. So I wish you the best in 2017, Gemini. See you next time.